Down, 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 down. Porn. Right, let's have a look. Hello everybody and welcome to the final round of the A1 Championship here of SLR, and hopefully we can have a good race today. We've already got 8 viewers. Hello everybody, and hopefully we can have a lot of fun. Full grid again, so fair play to all the guys turning up two days before the game comes out, and we've got a full grid. That's pretty good, isn't it? And hopefully we can have a lot of fun today. Again, Montana looks to be the man to beat for pole position. I'll just load up everything, and yeah, he's going to be a very difficult nut to crack. And I wonder if he'll go super softs or the softs. As you can see, he's already on the supers, so I'm presuming that's going to be a super run from him. There's a few on the softs and a few mediums. I'm expecting a few different strategies here today, and yeah, it should be a really exciting race. As we've got lots of different drivers, all different skills, but Montana's the person to beat, the champion. He's barely put a foot wrong all season, and he's already signed up for next season as well, so he will be returning with his lightning pace in the assist league, and we'll see if anybody can topple it. We'll load up this standing as the top 10 stay with this tier 1. Obviously we're expecting to have a few new drivers, so as we've already got a few new NSX drivers, so I'm hoping we can get a bit of a show, as 27.6 is the opening lap for Unseen. I'm expecting it to be a low 26, so for the pole time, as Montana now comes to the line, and he does mid 26 already, which is the T2 pole time pretty much straight away. So the top 10 include Knuffle at the minute. Knuffle's here today. He hasn't been here, he's already been disqualified actually from qualifying, so that's him starting last. But he needs a good result, as Berra's on the cusp. Unseen is actually on the cusp, even though he's actually only finished 2 races. Neo isn't here, I don't think. No. Packy G, if he has a very good result, for top 5-ish, and hope everyone else doesn't, he could get top 10, possibly. And also overtaking Dobie could be a half chance for people. And Weston as well. MEFC is here to consolidate his top 10 position. But yeah, it looks fairly solid at the minute, so it's really the battle between Baron, Unseen and Knuffle of who gets in the top 10. As we're on board with Montana at the minute, he's already on pole. Citric is best of the rest at the minute, but no one else is really on the supers. I mean, Catfish Hunter is, but he's not setting the world alight. Oh, I need that. It's G goes P5, my man, as Citric has been moved down to P5 with the mediums of Elmo there. As Mark comes in the pits and takes out the bollard in the process, so that's the end of the bollard. Cavillion, I think, is just going to start a lap now. We'll see if the Dutch driver is going to start this lap. As he comes across the line now to start his lap, and he's we'll see what he can do. The Dutch driver in the Force India. Obviously, Thorium's only just claimed the title for T1 at the last race due to Surface finishing second instead of first. He only needed one more position, but Blunt really denied him of the title. He could have won by 1 point, but the title here has already been sought after. As Berra's actually out of the session, Catfish Hunter's out of the session, Josine's out of the session, and Knuffle's already out of the session. So that's 4 drivers gone already, and that's pretty disappointing, I'm not going to lie. As here comes Cavillion into the middle sector, into the hairpin now. Will he be able to challenge up at the top or not? As he comes around the hairpin now, looks fairly clean. He's been fairly in the upper midfield, probably where Elmo and Alfie is all season. long. Well, when he competed, I think when did he join the league? He joined, actually no, he has been here all season. Yeah. But he's had a few bad results recently, 3 DNFs on the trot as well. So what will Cavillion manage as he comes now to the final few corners, flat out in 130R and into the final chicane, the famous final chicane here at Japan. He goes right and then left and then on to the start finish straight, which is more a bend with a bump in the middle, which makes it very difficult as it comes across the line, and it's a 28.3, so that's P3 so far for Unseen. As AJ's actually P5 on the mediums, he'd be fairly happy with that. But it's nowhere near the pole time of what Montana's done. So yeah, still a long way to go. Where Zero's got a glitch. And he's actually run out of fuel as well. Will Mockingweeks be able to improve? Obviously racing the Tier 2 race yesterday as well. Will he be able to move up a few positions into the top 10? Judging by the way he's finishing the lap, it looks like he probably will do, as it's P4 just behind Cavillion, and he was on the Supers was Cavillion, so that's a nice lap from Mockingweeks, but he's going for a more conservative strategy, I've heard, than the aggressive. MEFC, he's on his outlap at the minute. Didn't do a good first lap, let's put it that way. We've got Mark, who we expect to be in top 5 really. We've got a few people not in the top 5 who we probably expect to be up there. But here he comes across the line now to start his lap on the soft tyres. And he's coming down a straight. My man Berry B had died. It happens. Good thing about a game is you can come back to life. And now he nearly died, but you're too young to die, so they kind of left you a little bit longer. There's the Mercedes here. This is the last time we actually see this car. This is the last SLR race. Feeling quite emotional of 2018. Obviously this game hasn't been too fruitful for us unfortunately, but especially with the online problems it's got. But we're hoping to have a nice race to finish it off. Hopefully we can get some good battles throughout the field. There's Mark now coming for the hairpin and backs off. So he's obviously not happy with his lap and backs off to let, I think that was Montana through. It must have been because his teammate is out of the session with Josie. Mockingweeks coming into the pits. As Unseen has just finished his lap. I think he improved a little bit, but not by enough. As Montana's coming to the end of his lap now. We'll be seeing if he can improve on his time, see if he can extend that pole position time and go a little bit quicker. I said I expected a low 26 from Montana, and he's probably going to deliver it. And there it is, a 26.3. Lightning from Montana. Pretty much no one's going to beat that time. Just going to say it now. Just put everyone out of the misery. I mean, Alpha did a not horrendous match out on the mediums, but yeah, we'll see what he can accomplish. And he comes off line now to start his super run, and we'll see if he can get anywhere near P2 at least. I'd expect him to be at least P2, because that Unseen lap is not fantastic. As he's coming to the end of his lap now, he's taking an interesting route to pit lane. Keep an eye on Alfie in P6 at the minute. There's 4 or 5 drivers at the back there who haven't set lap times. Game and Mark, Borob, Akil and Popeye all yet to set times. The back of Ruto yet to see what their pace is like, and probably we could put MEFC in that category possibly. There's Alfie now coming through the middle sector. Will he be able to make something happen in the back end of this lap? As he comes through now with spoon corner, double left-hander. It looked a little bit loose for the rear, but overall not too bad. As he's coming up to 130R in his Red Bull. And will he be able to do justice for his teammate who starts last I wonder if he can put it anywhere near pole. It looks like probably not, judging by that middle sector. As he locks up going into the chicane. Obviously Alpha's using no assist in the assist league, which is a bit weird thing, but as he comes across the line now, it's not going to be anywhere near pole, but it's P3, which isn't that bad, but I suppose it is quite bad, because that time's quite a long way off of Montana's time, let's put it that way. 1.7 seconds. It's currently the gap. As we've got a car off there, I don't quite know who that is. It looked like the Red Bull. Or a Toro Rosso or something. Don't quite know, I couldn't really get a good view of it. But Alfie now coming into the Dagners 1 and 2. Will he be able to improve it? Actually, he's in lean mix now. We'll keep an eye on Cavillion, who's coming to the end of his lap. He's looking like he's improving slightly. He'll be hoping to get well in the 27s, let's put it that way. And possibly ahead of Unseen. As he now comes across the line now, and will he be able to improve? It's going to be a 28.0 for Cavillion, just ahead of AJ, 3 thousandths between them. If we cut away the Montana time, it's not that bad. It's quite close, but that lap is just, it's insane. It is just purely insane. There's nothing else to say about it. How do you get that quick? It's just, I mean, these aren't bad drivers either. These are pretty decent, but come on, guys, let's make it a bit more respectable. I mean, the tier 2 pole time was a 26.5, so I suppose there's more in it. They just haven't got it together, or haven't practiced enough, or something hasn't come together. I'm on board with an Elmo that's slowing down, and Citric is going very slow. So we'll go on board with Cavillion, who's coming into the pits as well. It's no one really on a lap. I think Akil might be on a lap. He's, yeah, I start to think that sometimes. As he comes into the pits, Borob's in the gravel. Mark, I think, starting his lap. You'll be thinking, how do I beat that 26.3? The answer is you probably can't. It takes something very special to beat that. As we'll stay on board with the Mercedes driver. As he comes across the line now to start the lap of the Japan circuit, we'll stay on board. He goes flat out 7th gear into the first corner, keeping it nice and tight. Very nice from Mark. I don't see anyone doing it much better than that. As we go into the left, right, and then left again. Just trying to keep it as tight as you can to limit the amount of what's the word? I can't think of it. As he comes round now to Degner 1 and 2 left, and then keeping it off that curb on the outside. It's so deadly, and then trying to get it through the corner as quick as you can before you head down into the hairpin now. And drivers like to run a little bit wide through here, just to carry a bit more speed, because there's a bit more space on the outside, and probably a little bit more grip as well. And especially in the rain, you'll see that as we head down now into this sort of straight bend type thing, as we go into Spoon Curve, as it goes 1 and then 2 apex. Just a little bit off the apex's mark, as you can see, ran a little bit wide there. He had to wait to get on the power a bit, but with a bit of slipstream from Muggen, he'll be hoping to get somewhere near Unseen's time, at least. Because I don't see him beating Montana. As he comes into the final chicane now, 2nd gear, just trying to get turned in, flicked in to the left-hander, and now, as he comes across the line, will it be anywhere near? It will be near, but not quite ahead of Unseen, as he does a 27.6. As Alfie starts his lap. And there's quite a few people starting their lap as Mocky Mix has gone soft tyres this time. And remember, he did that 28.4 on the mediums. So Mocky Mix has got a bit more in it. He can possibly get up to around P4 on these softs. I'll have a look at his sector times. and see how much he's improving here. So he's gone 2 attempts quicker in sector 1. We'll wait for sector 2 time to come up. So he's about 1.5 attempts up in sector 1. Sector 2, as we're waiting for it to pop up. It's in the middle of the 130R. And it was yet to pop up, come on. Oh, there it is. He's 3 attempts quicker in sector 2 as well. So he's going to be around unseen, actually. He's going to be a lot closer than it looks. As he comes across the line now, is going to be a 27.7. So just behind Mark there. Very good lap from Mocking Weeks. And puts him ahead of Cavilion and AJ. Imagine what he could do on the Supers. He'll be around the 27.0. I'm pretty sure Mocking Weeks will be fairly happy with that. So here comes Cavilion to the line. He's going to be starting his final attempt. Elmo will also start his final attempt in a second. Akil, Bushcock's out there, but except for that there's nothing. There's Citric retires. Elmo just about gets the line, he did that on purpose. We'll keep an eye on him as Mocking Weeks is going to retire from the session in a second anyway. As the first person to line will be Montana, and we'll see if he can improve further, which would be just a bit of a joke to be honest. As he comes to line now, what will it be? And it's going to be a 26.2. Wow, wow, wow. As Unseen now comes to line, will he be able to improve? He's improved to 27.1, so he's got within a second of Montana. I can't believe I'm saying that. That's pretty crazy, as Mark's finished his lap now, and there's only 2 guys now, 2 finished laps, and Cavillion's one of them. Will he be able to put himself within a second of Montana? I wonder. But that middle sector doesn't look promising. He's using 8 tenths to Montana in the middle sector alone. I don't get where he's gaining so much, but as he comes to the line now, and he does improve a little bit, but not enough really to threaten anybody. But it's Montana and Paul. It's going to be really who gets a good start. If Montana gets a bad start, then things might happen, you know. We can bottle him up a bit, but yeah, that was a pretty insane lap. As he's a long way clear. A long way clear of anybody else. But yeah, obviously the last race of this season, we'll be hoping to find some sort of competition for him next season. It's gonna be difficult if they're pulling out them laps. But yeah, it's Montana on pole, Unseen's P2, Mark P3, Mocking Weeks P4, Cavilion P5, AJ P6, Elmo P7, Berra P8. Akil managed to sneak into the top 10 there, and Citric in P10 for the race. So it's going to be a very interesting race, especially for the battle for the top 10. That's going to be the most interesting battle, as there's only a few points between them. We've got 13 viewers, by the way. Hello everybody. Don't be afraid to use the chat and talk. And it's going to be a very fascinating race, and hopefully we can have a lot of fun, as everyone picks their setup now to what they prefer, and hopefully we can have a good run at it. I'm just going to check on a few things, and then I'll be back with you for the start. Right, I am back and we are ready for the race. As we've got two naughty boys on the grid already, we'll have a look where everyone else is on this lap as they go from 130R for what will be an interesting race. Sorry about that. I'm having voice issues. I get these time for time. Which doesn't make a good commentator, I must admit, especially when you're on your own for an exciting race like this. And hopefully we can have a lot of fun as Muggin suddenly appears on the grid there. And so there's a few in there actually. But it looks like we're all here. And hopefully we can have a fantastic race for the final race of SLR of the F1 2018 game. Obviously we'll be back in a few weeks' time after today, but hopefully we can have a lot of fun today and make a race of it as they all line up for the grid. We're waiting now for the lights as the green flag in the background is waving, which means we can start as we go now to the 5 red lights. And will Montana get a good start as the 5 red lights go out, and away we go. Montana gets away nicely, is unseen. Isn't even able to go side by side with him, so he's got away very, very nice around the outside. There's Gamer marking P3, there's a bit of contact in behind. I wonder who that is. Mockymix has dropped one place to Alfie, who's made a nice move up into P4 already. Mark's getting a bit squirmy, his unseen is already on the grass there, so will Mark be able to make a move on unseen? I wonder. There's a lot of stuff going on behind. Knuffles up into P12, he started last. There's a lot of jostling there. There's Boroboff and I think MEFC. I don't know if MEFC is retired or I can't select his car, so we'll look a bit further forward as we've got a bit of a train here with Citric looking to make a move on Akil as he looks around the outside. Doesn't quite make it work on them super softs, as I'll load up all the telemetry for you. But as you can see, there are 8 positions off the start Knuffle already, as they all now go through Spoon Corner, and his only moves further up the field, as it looks like Elmo's looking to make a move on Mockymix to the highest sovereign, and as they go side by side through 130R now, who has the bigger balls? It looks like it was Elmo as they were going side by side. Berra made a very optimistic move with a bit of... Oh god, Mockymix is getting shoved down the order very quickly. There's a Cavilion nearly past him there as well. There's Cavillion's making his move on Mockymix, going around the outside of turn 1. That is that's borderline thick. He runs wide, and that's the end of that for him. There's Berra now looking still at the back of Elmo, as there's a lot of position changes further back. It's really weird. As Citric makes a mistake, and then Bushchuck gets him into P10. Knuffle's already up into P9. Pecky G's lost his front wing. Keel's lost his front wing. I think Muggin and Josine have had a bit of it. Well, actually, Josine on his own has had an incident. So more of them guys at the back. Zeros is in P13 at the minute. Pecky G retires from the final race, and so that's his top 10 chances out of the window. As we're looking at Bushchuck and Knuffle. Will Bush be able to make a move on Knuffle? Because I think Knuffle's actually lost. Yeah, he's lost half of his front wing. So despite him gaining on positions, he's had a bit of an incident here. As there's an incident in sector 2 further back, as Berra's already on the back of Elmo, so he's already dropped Mockymix. So the pace of the NSX car there of the Ferrari seems to be winning out against the rest of the field at the minute. As he goes into turn 1, will he be able to make a move? It doesn't look like it. As Pecky G retires from the session and leaves. But the closest battle is between these midfield guys of Berra, Mocky Meeks and Elmo at the minute. They all seem to be in a little bit of a train. As Unseen's actually keeping in range of Montana, I'd say. He's not bolting off into the distance as much as he probably usually do, but especially where his qualifying pace was concerned anyway. As we have a look at Berra now, as he's looking really feisty behind Elmo. He's yet to make a move. Alfie's managed to pull away a bit on them super softs, but they'll go off at some point, and I'm presuming they'll one stop onto the mediums. Whereas the softs last a bit longer. And will probably play out to a better strategy in the end. As into the chicane there. Berra goes later on the brakes, but gets a bad exit. But, everyone seems to be getting a bad exit through there. As Bushcut nearly made a move on Knuffle there. They were side by side for a bit. But has sticking behind his Berra is getting very close to Elmo. 2/10 is the gap between the two, so they're getting very close to the back of each other. As Bushchuck tried it around the outside of there of Knuffle, it seemed, but unable to make the move. For now, anyway. There's Mocky Meeks, and he's got a great view of the Berra Elmo fight, so we'll stick on board with the Brit. As Berra goes to the outside, Elmo to the inside. Will Berra manage to go right round the outside? And it seems like he has made that move. So great move for Berra, just late braking around the outside. And will Mocky Meeks be able to get ahead of Elmo? These two seem to be very similar on pace, but yeah, it's changing every lap. Really, Cavillion's dropped off the back of these two. This little battle anyway, and it's a bit further back now. As Catfish Hunter has overtaken, should I say, Citric, and he's just off of the points now as he's looking at Knuffle, who's the wounded Knuffle more like at the minute. And at the minute also Knuffle will probably fall out of the top 10 in the standings. He's got to get a few more points than 2, let's put it that way, in this race, so he needs to keep fighting on. He needs to keep going. As these three are all still together. Unseen's actually keeping up with Montana quite well, and the same Mark is keeping up a little bit with this front two, and probably the fastest person on track is AJ at the minute. He's catching up. We'll see what the fastest laps are. 30.9 from Montana, 31.2, 31.7, 31.7. So they're fairly similar, but AJ is similar to Unseen at the minute. As you can see, Mark's getting a bit on Unseen though. They can all see each other, which is all nice to see. And Berra can see the back of AJ as well. So the soft runners are starting to come into their own a little bit, it's fair to say, at this point in the race. So maybe the softs were the better tie to go with. But we'll have to wait and see. As we saw in the T2 race, anything could happen. I mean, Vanquish looked like he was banged on to win that race. And then the strategy kind of threw up a few uncertainties until the pirate binned it in the wall. But Mocky Mix, will he be able to do anything on the DRS on the straight, I wonder? As he goes later on the brakes, just trying to gain every inch he can closer as Borough retires. So that's us down to 16 runners. Just looking at the chat there, sorry about that. There's still 2 times between the two. Bushchuck is still looking at the back of Knuffle. Zeros is actually catching up to this, so there's half a chance of Zeros picking up a few points. But Catfish really needs to get a move on. I think he's the quicker of the drivers in front at this point, because Zeros are closing, and I'm pretty sure he'll be pretty ruthless. but the gap's starting to show a little bit. Alfie is keeping in range of Mark, but except for that, not a lot's happening as Elmo runs wide there, and will Mockumix be able to pounce on this as they head through 130i again? As you can see, Mockumix is saving ERS, which is quite smart for later on in the race. But he's saving it behind Elmo at this point. He knows he doesn't have to force the issue. He can do it on the brakes, but now with a better exit here, it looks like he's in prime position. As Elmo knows he has to go defensive, and there's no space there, so he'll have to go to the outside with a Haas driver, and they get very, very feisty into turn one. And Elmo, will he overshoot? No, he keeps it quite nice actually. But on exit, he gets a very poor exit. Will Mockumix force it around the outside? No. There's a Knuffle pits, and so does Alfie. As he comes out now behind Zeros, it seems. So he's gone for the early stop. Knuffle has also stopped. He's going to change his front wing and everything, so now push him further back than he'd like. But yeah, that frees up Berra a little bit, and these two will continue to fight. And Mockumix is starting to get a bit frustrated. Look how much ERS he's got. I mean, he's got full bars of it. But Elmo's not got as much. Obviously, he's just chilling behind Elmo at the minute, realising he doesn't really need to make that overtake at this point, because you see he's just shifting down the ERS as soon as he starts gaining on the slipstream. So he's kind of just sitting behind. But into 130R, will he try it? I think he'll just switch it down. Look, he switched it down. He's going to lift a little bit. Doesn't need to force the issue. Elmo's getting all defensive because he knows as he hits the back of him, which is not always a good sign. Let's put it that way. It means you're probably a bit too close. But yeah, not the best exits that time round. As he come across the line, as Alfie's made the move on Bush Tuck by going off track there, I think, around the outside there, as he gets a hit from Muggin, who's lost half front wing through that. Will he pit now? I'm surprised Muggin didn't pit, but Bush Tuck did, and that's him out of that. As it looks like Zeros is looking at Catfish Hunter now, as he's cut off the back of him, but not quite being able to be close enough. As Mockumix is all over the back of Elmo. He's been like that for a few laps now. He's going left and right and all over the back of that Williams car, anywhere but round at this point. He got very close into turn one a few laps back, but yet to really make a move. Really state an intention of passing anyway, because he's just saving his ERS. But Elmo's going to start saving his as well. He'll start realising he's not going for this move and save it a little bit. As AJ's actually got ahead of Zeros and Catfish Hunter, so they had a little bit of an incident. I wonder, is Montana pits? And will he come out in any traffic, I wonder? He's probably going to come out around Cavillion, just ahead of Cavillion, in that gap actually. As he swaps the tyres. Will Cavillion get past? I think he will. Cavillion goes past. He comes out quite a long way ahead of Alfie. So a few extra laps did him a lot of good, it seemed. As Akil has left the session. After DNFing, he was quite helping in the early stages. Just made a few mistakes. There's a brake marker board there, gone. And that is because Mockumix has lost it in the S's. As Bush Truck is out of the race. I wonder... Oh, he's binned it into the chicane. Under braking, I'm presuming. But that's dropped Mockumix back into Montana's clutches anyway, where he was like 8 seconds up the road. But mistakes usually kill races in this league. Hopefully we can see not many more. We've got an incident in sector 3 Berra gets a 5-second stop and go penalty for exceeding track limits. We've got the yellow flag in sector 3 because of unseen pitting. Unseen's pitting, Mark's pitting. Montana just breezed past Mark. And there's Unseen. To be fair, Unseen's a lot closer than I thought he would be. He's not far away. As he's got him in range. You see, he's only 2.5 seconds up the road. Mark's a bit further back on the mediums. Unseen's on the softs. Can he take them 17 laps? We'll have to wait and see. I doubt it. Or is he just two-stopping? Interesting. Whereas Alfie's actually come out right behind Mark, so maybe he's gained a little bit and Mark's lost a lot. I think both of these two have lost a lot. Not quite on the pace of the front two. Sorry about that, as AJ now is looking at game on Mark into 130R possibly. With a bit of slipstream, will he go into the chicane? As he does go in the chicane, he makes a bold dive bomb, but he makes the move stick. Great respect from the two, but Mark will get the DRS now, hopefully, around the outside. And now actually AJ gets the DRS, so Mark only gets the slipstream and he's not using his DRS. So you can see he's just pulling away, he's using DRS, so everything is... AJ says the position P5 for AJ, and Mark just has to settle for P6 at this point. And AJ now will be trying to close that gap to Unseen Nightmare. It would be a bit difficult to do that, and yeah, it will be a bit difficult to do that 7-second gap. But the current leader is Berra on them soft tyres. He's got 10 laps into this race. And Elmo P2. But the closest battle on track is actually between Cavillion and Mockymix, who both pit for the mediums, and they both come out together. Oh, that's quite interesting. So we'll see if Mockymix can make the move on Cavillion, as he obviously was ahead and he had more pace. He was up where Elmo was. Obviously he's pitting now as Montana sets the fastest lap of the race, and then Unseen sets the fastest lap of the race. So he's going a little bit quicker than Montana at this point. He won't be very happy with that, knowing him. And we'll see where he comes out. He's going to come out behind Mark and thingy. Catfish, will he overtake him? Elmo comes out in his own, really. So that's how much time them two have lost. As Catfish is actually being overtaken there by Zero for P7. So Zero's now up into P7, obviously still yet to pit with Catfish. Same with the leader Berra, yet to pit. He'll come out probably just ahead of AJ. As Mark is all over the back of AJ now. So it's more a slipstream fest for them two. As Muggin picks up penalty. Will AJ be able to defend? But into Spoon, here goes Mark. Into Spoon corner, round the outside, and it turns to the inside. And it looks like the Mercedes has got back past of the Red Bull. But for how long for? As the Red Bull now is right behind. Will he be able to slipstream back past through 130R? Here goes AJ into 130R. And there goes Mark, as we get the worst camera views of all time. So, well, just a bit of a slipstream fest between these two at this point. But I think AJ's using a lot more of his battery. There goes Mark with a bit of DRS. Will he be able to get past AJ using a bit of the weaving tactic? And manages to break it. As into turn 1, it looks like AJ's into P4 now. As he was at the start of last lap. But will he be able to keep it this time? I wonder, as Mocky Meeks tried it around the outside of Pavilion there. Trying to force the Force India into a mistake there. But didn't quite make it work. But it's fair to say that Unseen will probably get top 10 in this championship. And get an automatic place into next season. Which you'll be happy about. As Mockymix has actually got past Pavilion now, into P9. And that's Pavilion now down into P10 as Berra's picked up a 5-second stop and go for speeding the pit lane. So that's his second 5-second stop and go he's got now. As he's taking one of them. I'm pretty sure one will be removed either way. That's going to allow AJ to go past, and same with Mark. As he's going to go side by side into turn 1. Berra will have a perfect view coming out of the pit lane. As these two go side by side into turn 1. Berra will not get a perfect view as Mark overshoots turn 1, gets a penalty for it, but gets a position. That's Mark back into P3. Now if he remains in P4 as an incident in sector 2. That's Josie retired from the session. Jonesy. As we've got Popeye, currently running last the 2 Renaults. And P13 to 14, Citric P12, Knuffle P11, and then Pavilion on the edge of the points. And then comes everybody else. Catfish is trying to keep up with Zeros, doesn't look like he is. I think, oh god. I don't know what happened there for Alfie, but he pretty much stopped there as he outbroke himself on the grass. And that's a bit of a bottle from him. There's Berra now trying to put the squeeze on Elmo. Obviously would be ahead of him without that 5-second stop and go he picked up earlier on in the race. Yeah, be probably ahead of Alfie as well. I wonder what the penalty situation is like. One morning for Unseen. One morning for Montana. Stop and go for Mark and a penalty. Alfie's only got a warning. So despite that error, I think Mark will drop down a position. Elmo's got a penalty, and then Berra's just got 2 stop and goes. He hasn't even got a warning. He's just got 2 stop and go straight up. One for exceeding track limits, and one for speeding in the pit lane. As Catfish finally pits, and he's going onto the soft tyres. And he's just come out ahead of Citric. As now Berra is trying to close in on Elmo. It looks like he's doing it fairly successfully so far. Will it be able to make the move? Or not? As he's getting rather closer now. But obviously with Mark getting that 5-second stop and go, he's got 8 seconds of penalty. So 8 seconds will drop him probably close to 0, to be honest, probably just ahead of him, the Ferrari driver. And Zero's actually pit, so that, yeah, he's going to be ahead of Zero's, of course. And that promotes Mocky Weeks into 7th. And Zero's will drop back, probably ahead of Knuffle. As he comes around the final corner now. In fact, no, he's going to be behind Knuffle. But ahead of Catfish Hunter. Who's coming down the straight now. Maybe with the momentum, will Catfish be able to do it? Round the outside of Zeros, possibly. With a bit more momentum. Yes! It's turn one. It looks like Zero's made a hash of it. And that's allowed Catfish to get in the top 10. So Zeros has got all to do to get back in the points. Because Catfish is on them fresh tyres as well, remember. He's just done the undercut on him. And managed to get past. And Citric as well, just in behind, obviously. Not pitting again as well. Trying to get a top 10. Going into the sector 2, and that's Knuffle out. And there he is. He's lost on the curb, it seems. And that's him out, and that's the end of his season. And that is actually pretty crucial, because that drops him outside the top 10 as well. So that means Knuffle's wretched season is over. And he will have to do the time trials, it seems. If we have a look at reasons, because obviously Unseen will go in, Barrow will go in, and then Dobie will be out, and then Knuffle will be out as well. Obviously Dobie not racing, but yeah, it's Knuffle out of the top 10 due to his retirement there. Yeah, this gives us an interesting battle as Catfish is actually pulling away from Zero as well. I wonder if he's got any, no, I don't think he's got any damage. He's just generally a little bit quicker. They're fairly similar paced, I think. In my opinion. There's actually Zero, there's actually goes right on the back of Catfish for the hairpin. So will he be able to make a move into Spoon? As they head down now. Doesn't look like he's quite close enough. But here he goes now into 130R. He decides to brake, lift off. Will he be braking late into the hairpin? It looks like he will. Go for it. Lick the stamp and send it as Catfish has turned him round. And luckily for him, he hasn't lost that much time. But Citric, if he was a bit more consistent, he'd be with them. He'd have been ahead of probably both of them, as he probably could capitalise. But yeah, very naughty from Catfish. Stay ahead there. Just tap the rear wheel and spun him. It was just a racing incident on this occasion. I'm pretty sure. Wasn't intentional, just a bit naughty. As Barrow's got within DRS of Elmo now. Trying to just slipstream up to him. Because he's gaining. But not gaining enough, it seems. He's aiming for P5. And this is the closest battle on track. Well, if Zero actually picked up any damage from that, I don't think he has, but he might have picked up a little bit. This is spat into the side pod. But will Berra be able to make his move on Elmo in the final remaining laps of this race? So we've got 8 laps to go now. As we go towards 130R for nearly the final time of the season. As Reid now is revving out 7th gear, just trying to close, but not enough to really go into the back of him as he uses all the right lines. Will he get a good exit? Not the best, and that's not going to help him as he uses his DRS now, using all the DRS modes in the world. There's a car there coming at the pits. It's Popeye, and it's not really wanting Popeye to be there, but sorry about that. I had to go and do something, but he's still getting really frustrated. Behind Elmo is Arbera, and yeah, he's hoping to finish the season on a high. Looks like Montana's going to win the race, judging by the gap. It's just growing now. Zeros is still behind Catfish, and hoping to overtake him for that 9th place. As Arbera's trying pretty much anything at this point. We'll have a look at the championship standings. Catfish. Catfish and Zeros are actually level on points, you wouldn't believe. And I thought I'd have a look because they're very similar drivers as Berra. Trying it down inside a spoon, and it looks like it's worked as they go side by side, but it looks like Berra's going out of drag. The Williams there of Elmo, but Elmo now trying it around the outside as he does the dummy, and oh, that's brave. Does give Berra no room. He has to cut the corner, and he's got the position back, or has he? But I think Elmo deserved that for that dummy. Jesus, fair play to these guys for trusting each other that they won't crash there. I mean, that was a pretty brave move from Elmo. But didn't give Berra much room, and these two aren't, you know, as Berra taps him round now. Will he give the position back? Or will he not? And judging by what he thinks of the dive bomb, I think he's going to be off into distance because he felt like he didn't get any room there, get any choice. Actually, no, he does go back. It's quite rare to see, but this battle goes on. Sort of expecting it, but I felt like they are both pretty cheeky incidents. as we go into 5 laps to go now. To lap 23. And yeah, obviously that Catfish Zero battle was pretty crucial. Zero does actually pit, so that's the end of that battle. But I think Elmo's a long way ahead of Baron Championship. Yeah. So this is really not for a lot. As Elmo goes to defence and does the switch back. Does Berra and squeezes Elmo out, but that looks like Berra's got the position on Elmo finally. A clean one anyway. It was coming. He had to be a bit brave. Be hoping now just to get away from the Williams, who has been fairly brave in his overtaking. Realising that probably this isn't his battle, but he's not shying away. No. Not chicken. So I'm trying to eat my tea and commentate at the same time. Not a good idea, I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, it looks like Elmo's now dropping off the back of him as we head now to lap 24 of this race. As we're coming to a close to this season, and this pretty much sums this season up, to be honest. I mean, we've had a few races that haven't been that great with turnouts, and then have great races, and then we have good turnouts and not have the best, but yeah, we've got a few battles still. On track. And if you actually see how much Mocky Mix has gained, I mean, if he was ahead of these two by quite a margin, if he didn't make that mistake. But yeah, just unfortunate things like that have robbed us of a really good battle. But Elmo is sticking with Berra with a bit of slipstream help. This one probably isn't over yet. As we head now to 3 laps to go before we can call this season to a close. Someone we haven't mentioned so much is Montana. Unseen kept it fairly respectable for good 20 laps, and now last 5 or 6 laps his tyres have been far superior, let's put it that way, to what Unseen's was. I think Unseen was hoping to get out ahead of him, taking a bit of a gamble, but didn't really pay off in the end. Mark's had a fairly solid race with AJ. AJ's dropped off the back of him a little bit now. Citric is fighting zeros there for P11 and 12, which is pretty pointless. Morgan, sorry, somehow finds himself in the top 10 after what his race has been. Hasn't been that amazing. There's Morgan in this championship. P23, 6 points. There's a few more points to beat Real Will Man, but Real Will Man only took part in 3 races. Well, so we'll have to wait and see. as we are now on the penultimate lap of this race. Montana goes through the Degners for the second to last time. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I'll get back to commentating now. I'll stop eating my tea for the last lap for a bit of respect. As Montana sets the fastest lap of the race there, as well in the process of going on the final lap on 18 lap all mediums, just casually. I didn't want to know that message. As AJ's actually caught up really fast to the back of Mark, so he's got to move on. He's got a fuel light on, so he's fuel saving on his final lap, but we'll keep an eye on that as well as the leaders. I mean, this is a battle for podium. AJ will get that podium regardless. He doesn't know that, I don't think. But he's going to try and stick to the back of him. So he probably will get a penalty, despite Mark getting that position. I would say he might fall behind Barra, but I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, the man of the moment, the man of the season in A1. The story of the season, really, Montana dominating from start to finish. Hopefully we can find somebody to somewhat match him. He's been dominant, very dominant, and hopefully next season we can grow the assist league into something a little bit better than it is this season. It's been experimental, obviously switching the assist leagues and this no assist league to be a bit of a separate entity, and hopefully we can improve as he comes across the line now. For the final time, Montana takes the checkered flag, and Unseen as well for the final time on F1 2018 takes the second place. And we've still got a battle between Mark and Alfie. It looks though to be to no avail for Alfie, who will get that podium despite being behind Mark. So it will be P3 for Alfie, P4 for Mark, and P5 for Berra. Oh, Elmo nearly got Berra. Mocky Mix did get Elmo though, and Mocky Mix nearly got Berra as well by 10th. He missed out. As we're waiting for the other guys to cross the line, Catfish and Cavillion, who's been sort of on his own. Didn't quite have the pace to keep up of the top 7. And he comes across the line now, and will Catfish actually get him? No. And the only person not to cross the line now is Muggin Zero's actually missed out in the points altogether for that late pit stop. Went for something a bit different, didn't quite work. And he crosses the line, and yeah, that's it. No more races in F1 2018. I'm actually quite happy to say that. That's the last one. No more desync, hopefully a better online and a better league racing experience, judging by what I've heard anyway. I don't know too much about it, but hopefully we can have a great season 6. But season 5 had its ups and downs, but hopefully we can have some great racing next season, as well as Montana sprays his champagne like he has done many times, and I'm sure many times in the future as well. But yeah, that's it guys. Season 5 has now come to a conclusion. I'd like to thank everybody for everybody's hard work this season, for myself, and yeah, hopefully we can have an amazing season 6. We're already working towards that. Sign-ups are open, so sign up if you will. Links in the Twitter. So for the final time of the season, I'm Nene 7, and I will see you next time. Good night.